guys, my name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about the parts of the horse.
Howdy, and welcome to the Bar SC Ranch, where you will experience our journey of running a family business, caring for animals, and doing life together. Subscribe now and be inspired here at the Bar SC.
So now I'm going to talk to you guys about why you need to know the parts of the horse. The number one reason being that if you have to call the vet out for whatever reason, and maybe you're on the phone with him before he's going to come out, and you need to tell him, okay, where is my horse injured? You can't say, well, that part that's behind the arm, but before the rear end, it's kind of down low. There's a white spot there. Doesn't work. You have to speak in specific terms so that everybody's on the same page and knows exactly what you're talking about. Because if your vet comes out with the tools to fix one problem, when really you're having problem number two, you're gonna be in trouble. So you wanna make sure you're using the appropriate terms when speaking with your vet. The second reason, kind of in the same vein, is that even if you're just at the barn and you're chatting with friends about maybe one horse needs their leg wrapped a certain way or needs some kind of injury dressed or anything like that, you need to be on the same page with what exactly you guys are doing, because if you're talking about the shoulder and your friend's talking about something up here near the withers, the job's not going to get done. You're not on the same page. The third reason being, if you're ever going to be working in an equine industry, either as a trainer or working at a barn or anything like that, you want to sound knowledgeable. If you go into a job, an interview, even an on-the-job interview, and you're not using the appropriate terms for the parts of the horse's body, they're not going to take you and your knowledge seriously. It's going to sound way better for you if you can go into this job interview knowing exactly what you're talking about and sounding like an educated individual. So up next, we're going to be talking about the parts of the horse. And we're going to begin with our horse's head and neck. So our horse's face is filled with many other parts. Starting up at the top, we have the poll, which is just like the top of our head. It's a joint that flexes, so if we're working our horse in collection, having our horses be mobile through the poll is very important. Also the ears here. The ears let us know how our horse is feeling, so it's very important to pay attention to our horse's ears as we're working with them. Our horse's forelock is this little piece of hair that would be kind of similar to if we had bangs. If you've ever had bangs before, that would be like your forelock. Underneath the forelock is our horse's forehead, again, very similar to humans. As we work our way down the nose, you'll notice that your horse has very large nostrils. Hopefully they have two of them. They're just like our nostrils, except if we plug our nose, we can still breathe through our mouth. A horse doesn't have that option. So having a horse that has any kind of discharge coming out of their nose or a snotty nose is something you should take pretty seriously and make sure you're paying attention to, because they really can only breathe through that nose. They can't breathe out of their mouth. So it's important to keep an eye on those nostrils. The lower section of our horse's face, including their mouth and their nose, is called the muzzle. Our horses have eyes, just like ours. They're very large. Horses' eyes are on the sides of their heads, whereas ours face forward, which is why our horses are able to see so far around them. And so that's very important to us because we want to make sure we're standing somewhere that our horse can see us with these big eyeballs of theirs. Working our way underneath the eye here, this huge section here is our horse's cheek. Inside of their cheek, in their mouth, are lots and lots of molars. It's very important that our horse has all of these molars because of the kind of food that they're eating. They're doing a lot of grinding. They need a lot of surface area in order to eat the kinds of food like grasses and hays that they're accustomed to eating. Behind our horse's cheek is the throat. The throat latch is a piece of our bridle that you'll find on most bridles. So it's important to familiarize yourself with that area so you know where to put your throat latch. Working our way back from our horse's face, this section along the top of our horse's neck is called the crest. You might have heard maybe a trainer or someone else at your barn call a particular horse cresty. That usually just means they've got a lot of fat deposits along the top side of their neck there. Texas here is a little chunky, but he's really not that cresty. We've got way crestier horses here. Something to keep an eye on if you're looking at your horse's body condition score. This here is our horse's neck, and then the hair that runs along our horse's neck is called the mane. Now we're going to move into the body of our horse, beginning first with the chest, which is this entire area here. Working our way back towards the shoulder. The shoulder is an important body part to know of when we're thinking about saddle fit, and we don't want our saddle to impede the movement of our horse's shoulder. Up next, we come to the withers. The withers, also important in saddle fit. You don't want anything sitting on top of them. It's a very delicate part of our horse that we don't want to injure. Moving back from the withers, we have our horse's back. Pretty self-explanatory, just like our own back. Moving from there, we have our horse's croup, which is this little area up top, that little bump. The hip of our horse, very similar to our own. Moving back from there, our horse's dock, which is the area just above their tail. And last but not least, our horse's tail. And the next part of our horse that we need to learn about are going to be our horse's legs. We first come to our horse's knee. Below that, this whole bone is the cannon. Below that, this joint is the fetlock. And we come down to the pastern and our horse's hoof. And up here at the top of our horse's leg, we have what appears to be like a little calloused spot known as the chestnut. The lower leg conformation of our horse's back legs is very similar to their front legs, except instead of a knee, we have a hock. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're able to use this video to memorize the parts of the horse, and we'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, we'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe and leave comments about what you might like to see in future videos. We'll see ya back on the ranch.